Oh! See, you can't do it.
That was a perfect opportunity, Chris.
There's people just throwing stuff at us. Were you a bully or were you bullied?
Oh, Jesus, man, you don't want this? This is going to really lower the tone. Yeah, man.
Jesus, harsh.
Yeah, that is harsh.
Yeah.
Me, yeah, I was bullied to fuck, man.
Yeah.
Horrendously bullied. Yeah, said before, I tell you what, I wish I had £1 for every time I've said this in an interview or a podcast, but for the first 16 years of my life was like a bad country and western song.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, beaten up at home, beaten up at school. That's why I thought martial arts would be the answer to all my problems. Yeah. And it wasn't, because I went in there and I was then getting beaten up by people who fucking knew what they were doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like the bullies were beating me up, and I was like, I'm pretty tough, and I was like, but I was just getting punched by mugs, you know? I was horrendously bullied. One of the reasons why I really believe in martial arts, one of the reasons why I like you guys so much is you're a really good martial artist, but you know, the beauty is BJJ, you don't even get called into that. It's like I'm an athlete or a BJJ player or whatever, but like two legitimately tough dudes. But martial arts, I've seen people go in there and change their lives. You know, they can't face a mirror, let alone the world. And yet, oh man, I was bullied horrendously. One guy in particular, like he came from a really rough family in Coventry, and his brother actually killed a guy in 1982, and I started secondary school in 80. So we were at school, and this kid was like, he was just causing mayhem while we were there. But because he's basically, everyone was shit scared of him because his brother had just been sent down. There was a lot of racial shit going on at the time anyway in Coventry. And you know, so if you ever listen to the specials or people tell you about two-tone and this whole black and white, we all lived together. No, he didn't. It was fucking brutal. You know what I mean? Yeah, young black guys wouldn't take any shit. And then there was a lot of people that were just racist. And anyway, this guy, his brother killed somebody, so then he just basically caused mayhem everywhere, and he just bullied me systematically for 3 years. Like, but then it was one of them. He'd beat me up and he'd be on me, but like, you know, it was like proper. No matter how, unless he knocked me out, he knew I fucking hated him. And like, oh man, he'd be punching me in the head, and I'd be like, yeah, but you still come from fucking Willenhall. And he was like, boom. And I said, yeah, your mum's on the game. You know, I wasn't helping myself. You know what I mean? But I was like, no, I need this guy to know that I hate him. And you can break me, but you won't break this. And I hate you. And then got into training. Like, he basically, in the end, I just went in one day and I was just like, looked like I'd been in a fucking car crash. And he caught me on the bus and battered me. I went to school the next day. Well, I went home, my mum was like, what the fuck? And my dad didn't care less. I think my dad was pissed off that he hadn't given me the beating, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, instead. And I went into school, and the school was like, that's it. What's happened? And I just broke down, explained it all, told the whole thing, and then guess what happened? Finds out that he must have been a busy fucker, because he was bullying everybody. It was like a full-time job for this fucker. You know what I mean? Like, he was
killing everybody. Just open up his schedule. Beat on Mick at 2 o'clock.
Shake down
pause for lunch at 4. And got a couple more people on the bus on the way.
So anyway, he got expelled, and then he went to this school where a few of my friends went, and they just battered him for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, so like they just, like, he went in there and they were like, we don't give a fuck, your brother's in jail. Because we weren't smart enough. We were like, oh, his brother's a murderer. And then we sat and thought, but his brother's in fucking jail. Like, why are we scared of this guy? But it was mad. And then I saw him 4 times. The guy's dead now, and you know, wherever there's a hell, I hope he's in it. But I saw him 4 times in my adult life, and I was just driving down the road, saw him, and I go like that, meep, and I went, run, jumped out of the van, and you know, it's like that, you know, that look of abject terror, and I was like, yeah, now you know how it's like, motherfucker. Now you're me.
You just got a raging justice boner.
Payback's a bitch. Explain that one.
So you were Batman.
For
3-4 times he was fucking Batman.
Do you know, I've been... Crime never sleeps. No, good. What about you?
I was alright. I can't have a cool story though.
Just ruined the moment there for me.
Yeah, no, I was alright. No, I never really had much problems at school, actually, to be honest with you. And you know, there wasn't that too much. You know, I went to a decent school, and there wasn't too much of that.
How old were you when you got into martial arts though?
I was 15, but I was already kind of past the. People used to fuck with me, but just to get a rise out of me, and I didn't really care, to be honest with you. Like people would try and fuck with me because I knew that I'd get pissed off and that I'd react.
We still do that.
Still do that. But I didn't mind.
Yeah, it's easy, isn't it?
It wasn't bad, I didn't get like beaten up or anything like that. It wasn't. I never felt kind of victimised. I was just the guy that people used to like talk shit to because he's gonna fucking chase him around. I used to do shit like that all the time because I was just game for anything. We used to do shit where. I was blindfolded and I just fight every fucking person in the class,
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you go to school? was Michelle Pfeiffer the teacher?
It was a fucking private school, and it wasn't like a rough school or anything. And there was one time I had these goggles on that were like completely, they were like tanning bed goggles. Put these goggles on, and then I was just in a fucking corner. I was just fighting I wasn't a big guy. But I was fucking. I'd give it to.
You had pluck.
I was game. Yeah,
you had pluck.
So I was just fight everyone, and not like kind of proper. They weren't trying to stab me with scissors or anything, but they were trying to fight me. And I remember this one time I'm fucking doing all these people, and there's like 4 or 5 people like kind of like wrestling them all, and then they all stop, and I'm still here like this. Like, come on, motherfuckers! And like it's completely silent. I'm like, why? I take my glass off. The teacher's standing right there, just staring at me, because obviously they've all seen her come in and they've stopped and they've all gone and sat down. I'm just there, just like,
and you're just spazzing out.
Exactly. Loads of shit like that. They used to do
I remember the YouTube video of you when you were.
Oh yeah, I had one fight with a guy.
Yeah.
What? I had one fight with a guy.
Yeah.
It was on YouTube. I had one fight with a guy and I triangled him.
Yeah.
But I had to let him go because the teacher came down.
What was this at school? Was this for
school.
real?
Yeah,
a real fight.
IRL, real life.
Yeah. IRL.
I had a fight with some guy I didn't like.
You see, that's the generational thing with me. I'm like that going, wow.
Yeah. I've been doing Jiu Jitsu for about 6 to 7 months. I triangled.
Yeah. I remember.
Really? Guys,
I remember watching
guys.
It was a good triangle.
Do you
remember? Was it the first or second first series of the Ultimate Fighter show where they had the street fight and?
Oh, they were fighting loads.
Yeah, and they threw up the one of them threw up the triangle when they were on the floor.
Yeah.
And he got slammed.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Was that around the Koscheck time and Chris Lieben and that?
Lieben was the first season. They had they were like smashing the place up and having fights.
Just going crazy, weren't they?
They were having fights for like the first 15 seasons. Sporadically because they get pissed, and then you get 16. Alpha males, drunk, all think they're tougher than each other, all fighting each other, they're going to fight.
Yeah.
And then, whenever they fought, Dana would just like come in like, you get the fuck out of here. So they kind of stopped
Time
fighting.
to walk. Yeah. Now it's just the coaches fighting each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you've seen those two chicks at the moment, they're losing it.
Well, you had Vanderlei and Shell and after each other as well.
Yeah. Who was it that... Was it Rampage that ripped the door off the hinges?
That
was comedy gold, wasn't it?
Rampage versus the door.
Yeah.
Dana just came in and goes, great, now everyone knows how cheap I fucking do.
Well done.
The door was like fucking
he just went straight through it, didn't he? What about you, Chris? Were you bullied?
I was a notorious bully. No,
were you?
No, I definitely wasn't.
I knew it. I knew there was something about you.
No, I was picked on a bit at school. Yeah. First 3 years of my school life, I didn't really have any friends. So I was very much on my own for the first sort of 3 years at school, and then. Later on, it was probably due to like low self-esteem and low confidence. And to an extent, I probably still have low self-esteem in myself. But I think that when I got to sort of like the last few years, year 10, year 11, then I sort of met a group of friends, all kind of alternative kids.
Yeah.
And they didn't really give a shit who you are or how stupid you look. Or any of your own issues, because everyone else had the same issue.
Yeah.
So and we're all still tight now from school. So that was cool from them. But first 3 years were a bit shit.
Yeah.
But I never really got into any fights.
Yeah.
I was quite good at
just a bit ostracised.
Yeah.
The old angst is a killer, man. The teenage angst thing. Yeah. I look back on it now, and I didn't help myself in any way, shape, or form. But I didn't care,
You don't know when you're a fucking kid. You don't know.
No. Nobody spells it out to you.
When like you go to the future and you go back, you'd be like, oh yeah, who gives a fuck? You're a kid.
Yeah. I wish someone had just spelled it out to me. Just hang around. It's like it's like that scene in the Tom Hanks movie Big when he's like, come back with me, and she's like, no, it's just too painful. And you look at it and you go. Yeah,
it was.
It was. Yeah, I thought that. I don't want to go back there now. But it doesn't last very long. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
then like I say, it just kind of passes, doesn't it?
It does. Then you look back on it. It's like that. As I say now.
Look back on it, you get to give a guy a good hiding for time.
Well, but that was it. It's like I've often said, I tried to kill myself twice before I was 16. Yeah. So imagine how fucking shit I felt the second time round. Yeah. You know what I mean? You tried it. You're like, oh god, it didn't work. And now look at it, and it's a fucking anecdote now.
Yeah.
And that's not to knock anyone who's going through it.
Yeah.
You know, but trust me, it does get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just got to have fucking faith.
Yeah.
You know, time is a healer, man.
Yeah.
And nowadays you look at it, you go, fuck it. You know, I'm the sum total of all the good and bad shit. More importantly, the bad shit. I think. It's the bad shit that you learn from, isn't it? You know?
It's what shapes you, really. Isn't
Yeah, too right. It's the old Calisans. If you'd have gone out there and smashed him, we wouldn't be able to talk to you now. You wouldn't be here.
I'll be on a bigger chair.
On a bigger chair.
I'll be on a Game of Thrones throne.
Okay.
But straight to my feet here. Oh.
He loves it. He loves doing a bit of the tension.
It does. He builds it up. What is your favourite colour?
No. What's your middle name? Not only because this is going to be a long one. Can you list all your injuries from training and fighting? That's why I was doing it, because we're going to be
Mine's
here a while.
quite short.
Go on, Chris. You start.
Do you want me to start? I'm going to jump the gun on this one. Mine's quite short. Like major injuries. I mean, because like my knees aren't great now. But they're just jiu-jitsu knees. That's just jiu-jitsu knees. Popped my rib, which I said in the last time we met with Andy. First time I met Andy, popped my rib.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a good story, that one.
Yeah, exactly.
I was underneath in half guard. He sprawled on me. He's a much bigger guy.
Big.
Popped my rib out, which was great. And then the only other one that I've had major was my ankle when I fought the European Nogi at brown belt. I fought Adam Ansed.
Adam Ansed.
Yeah,
Adam's a cool guy, man.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Accidentally popped my leg.
Really?
Popped my ankle, and I was like, "Yep, that's on. That's cool. You won? Sweet."
He's a black belt with Chris Houter, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a
combat
cool
base.
guy. Yeah, combat base.
Yeah, so they're the two main ones that are kind of But yeah, I'm very good at tapping early, and I'm not very stubborn. You know, I don't like if someone's got me, they've got me. And
it's a good lesson to tap early.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Apart from that, no, I've been okay for injuries. But then I say this now, but I reckon I'll go train tonight or something, and that'll be okay.
No.
That's it.
You'll be all right.
No, you'll be fine. Don't go there thinking you're going to come out like Christopher Reeve, man. Or anything.
Oh god.
Well, it's quite funny because I was always quite resilient. I had no injuries. I was training jiu-jitsu from about 15, 16. I wasn't training much like people have the opportunity to train now. There just weren't that many classes. But 17, 18, I was taking it seriously. I was competing, and at 19, I was a purple belt, and I remember I turned 20 in December. 2010, and I was competing in the Europeans like a month after I turned 20, and everyone saying was like, "Oh, you're 20 now. You're not a teenager anymore.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna get injured." Fuck off. I'm a month into my,
month into my 20s. I'll do it.
I'm training. I've no injuries for the last 5 years.
I'm trying to think which injury this is now.
So this is the first injury I got, which was a month after I turned 20. I'm my teens. I'm playing rubber guard, the same shit that I was always doing. I go rubber guard and. Outside my knee goes.
Really?
Couldn't fucking believe it. Everyone's going, "You're not a teen anymore." It's gonna, almost as a joke. And then,
how long did it take to get over that?
It wasn't too bad, but it was, it was one of those that kind of lasted a little while, but nothing too bad. Bad stuff. I got my foot popped like you. I was, I was probably about 18 or 19.
Was that Feeler?
Yeah, Feeler.
Feeler,
a guy like 10k heavier than me, just sat down.
Right.
Bang, and you just hit that.
Where was this?
That was Milton Keynes, I think it was.
Milton Keynes, was it?
I think it was. No, maybe it was up north somewhere. I can't remember.
I think it might have been Birmingham.
Yeah, I think it was
feeling it was Birmingham.
Maybe it was Birmingham. But yeah, I got my ankle popped.
And then drove back.
8 weeks. Yeah, I know. I didn't drive back.
I didn't drive back.
That was when we were in the little tour bus.
Yeah. That was Paul's bus.
Yeah, Paul's bus. Yeah. So I popped my ankle, and then a couple of years later, the big one was I fucked my back up. I've got 2 herniated discs and a fracture in my spine, pars fracture, and that's kind of just an ongoing chronic thing that I deal with. I've torn the MCL and meniscus and stuff loads of times in the knees, and once I competed a couple of years ago in the ADCC trials. I was fighting the guy, I ended up winning. And I'm coming up for a sweep. We're in overtime. We're drawing on points. I come up for the sweep. Tough. This guy.
Yeah.
You're also talking about tough guys. This guy, probably the toughest fucking rabbit.
Who's that?
I can't even remember his name. Some Polish dude. I armbarred. I stood a straight armbar, and here, and he just did this.
No way.
He just lifted me up like that.
Really?
What the fuck?
Yeah, inhuman, man.
And we're having this absolute war, and I come up to get the sweep. 30 seconds left in the fight. This is it. I'll win this. It's the toughest guy in the division. I'm going to get the qualification for the ADCC last year. And I come up, and as I come up, and he just blows out. He blows out, and then you know, I'm in the middle of fucking Bulgaria trying to hail a cab with my leg like this, just getting back to the fucking hotel.
Yeah.
You know, luckily no surgery or anything. It healed up all right, healed up nicely. And then the recent one, I had a slap tear. A superior labral anterior posterior tear on my shoulder. Had surgery on that in on the 30th of January. I had surgery on that, so about 3 months ago. You know, technically, in terms of surgery-wise, I had I had something called a dorsal root ganglion blocker in my back, which is like a nerve blocker.
Yeah.
They burn off some of the nerves and inject some stuff into the spine where I did my back, and it didn't really help. But nothing cutting me open. This is the first time I've been cut open. Small, you know, it's incredible what they can do. Tiny scars here. That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah.
Tiny shit. You know, really small stuff. Yeah, you know, I've had loads of, you know, you put your fingers up a little bit, knees go, elbows go, you get a bit of medial tendonitis and stuff like that.
But that's jiu-jitsu, right?
That's jiu-jitsu.
That is.
The main ones are knees, a couple of good ones on my knees. Ankle was a good one. Back was a good one. Shoulder was a good one.
Oh, I've had obviously just broken fingers from the karate days.
Yeah.
Not from like Carly, no?
No, none of that, man. I tell you what, now that is believe it or not, for one of the best arts I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's easily one of the most holistic ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really good for the body, great for the body mechanics,
Yeah.
Everything, even when you spar, even with the Thai boxing, I've never really picked up loads of injuries, like just silly things, getting my nose broken loads of times, broken my fingers. I had my left arm popped at the British Open last year by Neil Mangan in the final. 20 seconds to go, boom, and he did it like it was are you doing any training? No, I'm not doing much. Have you been doing anything? Find out he's at Rogers 5 days a week, smashing it out with all those monsters. And like again, you know, when you grip up with somebody, and I was like that, and I was like, shit, we're in a war here. And literally, it was just as he was pushing me back. And we were just head to head, like, and I felt myself losing ground, and I was like, no, I'm the guy who does that to people. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck. So I did that, popped that, and then probably the best or worst I've ever had was this ankle here, but it wasn't martial arts, it wasn't fighting, it was with a friend of mine. He won't be able to watch this because he's not at liberty at the moment, but he used to be the co-promoter of Cage Warriors. And he's the first, me and him took our first karate lesson together when we were 16.
Wow.
And he's serving time with at Her Majesty's Pleasure at the moment. Really, really nice guy. But give you an idea what he's like. He was a multi-millionaire and he'd still go shoplifting. He was just a villain. You know, he just loved being a villain. You know what I mean? But really, really nice fella. And we'd started training and we were in the sixth form at school. And then we're sitting there in the common room just chatting at women, talking shit, just being idiots. Yeah. And somebody said, you two train together, yeah, who'd win in a fight, you or him? And I said, I'd smash him. And then he was like, no, I'd smash him. And we were real good mates.
Yeah. You ready to just have a ruck then?
No, so we went outside to see what had happened. And we got into it, and he just grabbed hold of me, and literally what he did was, he stood on my foot, and we just went at it. You know what young guys are like. So it's more arm punches than anything. But for people that are watching it, it's like, this is impressive shit. And he's boom, boom, boom. And it's like the quiet man sort of thing. You know, it's like just hitting each other, rock'em sock'em style. And then he hits me with one shot. And as he hits me, I was like, fuck. And as I was going, but he was still standing. But he was still standing on my ankle. So he snapped my ankle. And then of course I was like, so then again, it's the dragging my foot, like I look like a gangster, you know, I look like a North London gangster stabbed in the leg, and obviously I went and had to have that done. But that was it. You say martial arts wise, nothing, but like the Kali and that, great for you. Jiu Jitsu, you just have to be, you know,
it's a lot of wear and tear.
There's a lot of wear and tear, and if you're smart, you can stave it off a little bit. But if you're going to have a hard session, you're going to come out, you're going to be a bit broken up. That's why it ain't for everybody. Yeah, some people think it is, and then they go in there and they go, shit.
Some people are a lot more injury prone than others. A lot of it is from tapping late, you know. White belts I train with now, I'm like, you fucking tap, man. You're getting out of there. You tap as soon as you ain't getting out of there. I don't if I get someone in an armbar, I don't put it on. You know, I just take the armbar and I'm like, I don't care if you don't tap. I know that I've got you.
Yeah,
I'm done here. I let go. Let's carry on again. Let's go.
Yeah.
And really, he knows as well.
Yeah, but that's the one. It's the guys don't want to stare down the barrel of the gun and realise they're getting shot.
You just you do something nasty that ain't gonna hurt them. You crush them up, or you give them a good
Yeah.
That's why chokes are good. Nice. Doesn't matter how tough you are.
Yeah.
I put someone out. I don't care.
Right.
I'll bring them back.
There's nothing better than shaking some guy's feet and saying, "Thought you were a tough guy."
Yeah, you're not gonna have to worry about it the next day.
No,
Arm,
it's all right.
leg, but I'll put you out any day of the week.
Yes. Fuck.